3 ways to attract abundance without the law of attraction. Hey, what's up guys? This is Pete here, and this is a very different topic for my channel here on YouTube. I want to talk about though something that is so popular in today's world, which is this whole thing of the law of attraction. People tend to forget though the action bit. You got to take action. You got to move towards the thing that you want. Don't just kind of wait for it to head in your direction. When it comes to the law of attraction, I'm going to say outright, I'm not an expert in this topic. I'm only going to share 3 tips that I've used which really aren't from the law of attraction to be able to have some more freedom in my life and to be able to do the things that I want to do. And I'm like, you know what, wouldn't it be cool to share it on YouTube? So let's see all the hate comments come in of all these like, oh my goodness, the law of attraction it's the only way. All right, you believe what you want to believe. I believe that yes, there is a universe, and yes, there is an energy that flows through us. I get all of that. But also as well, I want to be a bit more real with you and just say these 3 tips, if you use them, can work for you in a more logical format. So we're going to bring a bit more science into it. Number 1, get close to your patterns of thinking. A few years ago, somebody said to me, Pete, do not worry about your actual thoughts, because you are not your thought, you are the observer of your thought. And at the time I'm like, this is really Inception. What does this mean? But basically it was some of the best advice I ever received. And the reason for it was because when I felt like I was getting in my own head, it became a descending spiral. My worries became amplified, my fears, my anxieties, the problems in my life seemed to get bigger, because what you focus on, you manifest. What you focus on amplifies. That comes back to the whole law of attraction, that if you keep thinking about something and you give it emotional charge, you give it energy, then of course you're going to go looking for that thing. This friend of mine said to me, Pete, when you realize that you are not your thoughts, but you are the observer of your thoughts, what you can do is you can detach just a little bit emotionally, and that can give you more empowerment to decide, okay, do I like this thought or do I not like this thought? But then he said the next thing, which is your thoughts go in patterns. That linked into what I was teaching anyway, because I was in companies teaching salespeople how to sell better. People do not act the way that they think that they act. What they actually do is they base their behavior on patterns, because if you were alive 10,000 years ago living in the jungle, by having patterns of behavior, well, that would mean that you stay alive. But in today's world, your mind still sets up your life with patterns. And the reason why it does that is because when you have patterns, then that means that you can go into autopilot and you can do your job, you can live your life, and you don't need to think too much. But I want you to think about what you think about. Let me explain. It's not your thoughts that can do damage. It is the patterns of thinking that we have. And by stepping back and becoming the observer of your own mind, what it allows you to do, and this is really cool, it allows you to say, okay, I can see this pattern of behavior keeps coming up over and over again. When I'm faced with pressure, then I tend to do a negative behavior, which is I eat all the wrong foods. Yeah, so I'm gonna be doing everything right, and then I get myself in a stressful environment, and my stress coping mechanism is to go to an unhealthy diet. Patterns of behavior can be positive as well. So you can have a pattern of behavior of kicking some backside when life gets tough, and you say, I will step up, I'll take that as an opportunity. But if we're not stepping back and becoming the observer of our thoughts or our pattern of thinking, then what we do is we end up associating with our thoughts directly, and we get stuck in the thought. Imagine it like this, that your thoughts are like traffic and you are the observer of the traffic. The problem with today's world is that we try and control everything, and we try and run in amongst the traffic and we try and stop it. You're not there to run in amongst the traffic. What you're there to do is observe your thoughts, observe the patterns of thinking, and only then can you actually influence your own behavior. Because once you change the pattern of thinking, now what you get to do is you get to say, right, I like this, let's do more of this, so this part of my life can amplify. I don't like this so much, so let's do less of this. And if we want to think about that law of attraction, what you focus on, it expands. What you focus on, amplifies. If you're finding that you're having a negative pattern of thinking, that's going to stop you, because we know already that if you keep obsessing over something, sure, if that thing is a good thing, brilliant, then it's going to give you the energy to go and get it. But if you obsess over it in a negative way with negative emotions, then that is going to be a train wreck. That is number one. Look at the patterns of thoughts that you have, and then you can influence them. Number two, move on fast. Successful people, and I'm generalizing by saying this, they are able to have short memories. They don't hold on to grudges, they don't carry baggage. They're not thinking, oh my goodness, that person 10 years ago, they screwed me over. They see everything as a lesson. If something bad happens, it doesn't happen to them, happens for them. This takes a lot of self-awareness, but unfortunately in today's world, what some of us do is we hold on to the negative and we carry that with us throughout life. We say we don't, but we do. So again, become the observer of your thoughts and your feelings, and then from there move on fast, because as you move on, you open new doors of opportunity. Finally, number three, play to win. Our mind is not wired for you to thrive. It is wired for us to survive. And if we just go by our default behavior, and most people do, unfortunately what's going to happen is that we're going to be making decisions from a place of survival. And this means that we are settling for less than our ultimate potential. You, my friend, imagine if you woke up tomorrow and all you could do was play to win. And I don't mean play to win at the expense of others losing. I mean, you only compete with being better than who you were yesterday. And you're only looking that you become the best version of you. If you woke up every day with that confidence, with zero fear, or you had fear, you were able to move forward despite fear, how would that change your life? So playing to win is a powerful way to attract abundance into your life. Very quickly, the science behind all of this. Sure, we can look at it from the law of attraction, like the universe. I believe in that stuff too. But from a logical point of view, we have a part of the mind which is called the reticular activating system, the RAS for short. And what this little device does, we'll look at it that way, it creates your neural pathways, your physical components of the mind, based upon the most consistent images we hold in the mind. And it doesn't think in language. What it thinks in is in emotion. So for example, if you're frustrated that you can't quit smoking, you think, I've got to quit smoking, I've got to quit smoking, quit smoking, quit smoking, quit smoking. Right now, as I say, you need to quit smoking, quit smoking. What are you thinking about? Smoking. So therefore, the reticular activating system says, oh, this person, they're thinking about smoking, therefore they probably want a cigarette. The more you think about something, the more you obsess over it. And by the way, thinking to obsession, there's a difference, becomes emotionally charged. And then from there, obsessing over something that's negative, our mind is going to go out of its way to create neural pathways and to amplify that so you create it in your life. So with that said, what about if we could become addicted to the things that inspire us? Of course, when I use that word addiction, obsession, I have to say it with a caveat that, okay, this is not generalizing obsession or addiction. We're all addicted to things as human beings. We're addicted to social media. We're addicted to our phones. The average millennial picks up their phone, I believe, 2,600 times a day in 2019. It's crazy. So if you're going to be addicted to anything, be addicted to living a great life. So that is my 3 top tips for attracting abundance into your life. You can look at it as the law of attraction, or you can look at it as the reticular activating system doing its work, but focus on what you want, not what you do not want, because whatever you focus on, you will give power towards and you will manifest it into your life. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video.